started in the farm, I think, when I was 11 years old. It was my summer job. I would do it every single year all throughout high school. I learned everything from pruning, picking, thinning. I didn't really want to start in agriculture. My plan was actually to major in finance, but my father actually pursued me to go for agriculture. He said he thought I would be good at it, but I never really wanted to give it a try because I always had the wrong idea of agriculture. So I decided to take a risk and I came to Stamil. I asked for an interview and luckily they decided to take a risk on me. I started with the industry at the age of 17 and I've been here ever since. I always wanted to do finance because ever since growing up, they were the big players. But as I learned throughout the industry, I started seeing the opportunities in agriculture. I definitely want to double major in finance because I see the importance that it could bring towards the industry. Believe it or not, we actually use finance in our everyday here in agriculture and we mess around with numbers on the daily. I plan to use finance with a business that I just started, GraftGo. It's a grafting company that I started and I hope that with my finance education, I could go ahead and better perform in the industry with that. We use a lot of numbers when it comes to a lot of trials. We write down a lot of numbers and then we create formulas. The big players that we use numbers a lot in is bins per acre, figuring out bins per acre that we want to go ahead and receive in the orchard. A lot of fruit sizing, we go ahead and use a lot of numbers, a lot of formulas there. When we're doing our budgets, that comes in super handy finance. We go ahead and set our variance reports. We do our actual budgets, our year to date, our cost per acre. We go ahead and calculate our variance percentage, and then we kind of just see and mess around with the numbers to see how we're gonna modify or what we're gonna lower costs in or what we're gonna raise cost. A big way that we've used numbers this year has been with pruning this year. We go ahead and do bud samples. So we go ahead and get our samples, we take them down to the office, we analyze them, and then we determine the percentage of the buds that are going to go ahead and be flowers or leaves. After we receive that number, we go ahead and input them in an Excel file that goes ahead and gives us the total percentage of buds. We could go ahead and determine the amount of flower that we're gonna have in our trees. So what we go ahead and do, we go ahead and send our crews out. We go ahead and make sure they get an average count of buds per tree. After we receive the average buds per tree, we go ahead and insert that information and we mix it with the information we receive on how many flowers we're gonna receive in that block. We want to get as close as we can to the bins per acre as possible. So we do everything we can to assure that our pruning is done right. And that's just one of the simple tools that we use. Part of my internship has been great. I've learned so much in the industry. I definitely recommend young growers that just want to go ahead and strive into the industry to take this route. I didn't take the traditional route of going to school and then receiving an internship. I went straight into an internship without any agricultural background, but I wouldn't change it for anything. You learn so much with the people, you get to interact, you get to actually understand the industry as of right now, not as of 10, 15 years ago. You get to get hands-on, you get to go ahead and experience everything, and it's something I definitely recommend.